Hey, what's up guys? Rev here. Today I'm accompanied by my fiance Straub. Straub, please introduce yourself to my audience.
Hello, my name is Straub. I'm a VTuber and an ASMR artist here on YouTube.
So I took her out of the kitchen today to... No, seriously, we have a pretty interesting topic today. It's no secret that both me and my darling fiance have been the subject of many cancellation attempts over the years.
And if we're being honest, I think for the most part we've handled them pretty well.
So today, Straub will be joining our cinematic universe as we discuss what it's like to be canceled as a content creator, what happens when your favorite VTuber or content creator is getting canceled, and how to avoid getting canceled in the first place.
But first, check out today's sponsor.
This video is not the only reason we are collaborating today. You may have noticed these beautiful ice shakers sitting on this pixelated table here in front of us.
This week only, you can get this cute 26-ounce custom ice shaker featuring both our VTuber models, courtesy of our friends at Advanced GG. I mean, is this not the cutest shaker ever?
Today you're getting not one, but two anime girls, a double feature on this ice shaker. Rev and Straub, a combo as strong as cute and funny.
This is also a good chance to try Advanced GG if you've been curious about it, since it comes with multiple sample packs. My personal favorite flavor is strawberry shortcake, but of course you can always use the ice shaker to keep whatever beverage floats your boat cool all summer long.
Make sure you spend this summer like a true Giga Chad, sipping on your ice cold drink out of a cute waifu cup. Sale ends Tuesday, June 6th, so get this while you still can. And don't forget to use code REV for 10% off your purchase.
Or code STRAUB for 10% off your purchase too.
That's right, so thank you for listening to our spiel, everyone, and let's get back to the content.
Now we're going to talk about what it means to be canceled as a content creator and how to respond to it. The first step, in my opinion, is to avoid getting canceled in the first place.
So a good way to avoid that is to keep the most important thing in mind, and that is the fact that you are an entertainer first. The problem with a lot of VTubers is they delve into political and other controversial topics, often for the sole purpose of getting attention and likes on social media. However, your audience is primarily there for entertainment, not to engage in these topics. In fact, most of them are there as a form of escapism to avoid those real life things. You don't have a duty to talk about anything political or controversial. Don't let anyone on Twitter convince you otherwise. The vast majority of the audience wants to watch you be a cute anime girl or anime character online. They just want to have fun. They want an escape from those controversial things. The worst thing you can do, though, is to make these things half-assed, okay? If you're going to say something controversial or take a stance on something, be proud about it and be 100% honest. The worst thing you can be is a hypocrite or someone who backs down once they've made their opinion known.
This is very true. Also, it's important to keep in mind that nothing is private, whether it's DMs, Discord, your private Twitter circle, and in most cases, you will never know someone as well as you think you might, so you should be careful what you share with others in this space, because some people would do anything to see you fail.
I mean, that just kind of relates to being careful about what you share online. You might think sharing the smallest bit of information like, oh, who could possibly twist this or use it? But trust me, I've seen enough people ruin their careers over the smallest little nugget of information they shared about themselves. It's just not worth it. Think about what the purpose of your post or what you're sharing is. Is it worth the risk? Do a little cost-benefit analysis. I think it would go a long way for a lot of VTubers out there and other content creators. Is it worth the 100 likes I'm going to get on this post to share something personal about myself? Will people who dislike me use this against me? Because newsflash, the internet is very mean. Do you agree with that? The internet can be a little bit mean sometimes.
Yeah, people are not always the nicest.
Like, you have to live in the real world and understand that people will try to make the worst out of even your best intentions. So if you're going to talk about something like, your family or something personal about yourself, be aware of the possibility that people will take advantage of that to attack you.
This is true. Also, I feel like a huge thing that I've had to learn myself is quite literally learn to shut up. I mean, like
Women,
I
am
said,
I right?
shut up. You shut up. No, but I had to learn this a lot. I mean, you should have seen how I used to tweet a few years ago.
She
I
was a
was
schizo poster.
I was so annoying, but I've learned that that's just not how you grow as a content creator. Like, I look at the creators that I look up to that are just completely drama free and just very content focused, and that's how I want to be. If you go on my Twitter, you don't see drama. I don't want that on there. I just want it to be my content and a happy, fun place for my community to go. I have tons of mutuals that just never shut up about so many things, and the thing is, it's whether I agree with them or not is kind of irrelevant. I just don't want to see it on my timeline, so I mute people all the time.
She do be muting. Every time I look over at her, she's on Twitter pressing the mute button on some new account. But
No.
I mean, it's an exaggeration, but there's so many people, just constant discourse about whatever topic, and it's just exhausting.
It's true. And the thing is, you don't want people muting you for those posts, because then when you actually do make content, which hopefully you do make some content if you want to be a content creator, those people aren't going to see those posts because you're either muted or blocked or soft blocked. Like, they just don't want to see your drama posts. So if you're posting about drama all the time, you're just more likely to be known for that. And don't you want to be known for your good content?
Known for drama. Who could that be talking about?
Stinky drama tuber.
Yeah, stinky drama tuber. But like, that's the thing. That's my content. I talk about drama. So of course I'm going to be involved in some ways in drama. But also there's a big difference between covering drama or weighing in on it instead of involving yourself. That's another step too that's important to know. And honestly, like, pick and choose your battles, right? We'll get into this a little bit later, but like, arguing on Twitter is just a mistake 99% of the time. And for me, if I'm going to weigh in on a controversial topic, I'll be totally honest, I'll at least just try to monetize it and make it into a YouTube video. And it makes sense for me to do so. But yeah, learning to shut up. I think we all need to do that, myself included sometimes.
Yes.
And no matter how good it might feel to say something or weigh in on a topic, just remember who's going to see it, and remember, would your viewers benefit from seeing this?
Yeah, maybe put it in your drafts first. Like, sometimes I'll see something and I'm like really fired up and upset, and I write my tweet about it, and then it goes in the drafts and no one ever sees it.
She's seen some of my previews of tweets or quote retweets I was going to do to people saying some annoying stuff, and
oh yeah, I make him put it in the drafts too.
Yeah, she's like my PR, okay? It would be chaos 24/7. I'd be chopping down heads 24/7. I'd be getting canceled 10 times as much as I am now, if that's possible. But yeah, learning to shut up. That is a virtue sometimes.
So, when you've been canceled, what do you do next? So you didn't listen to the other stuff, and now you've actually been canceled. And just as a disclaimer moving forward, your choice of options on how to respond are definitely going to dictate by what you actually did. We're talking more about being canceled over slightly controversial things, edgy jokes, just misunderstandings, or even being framed for things you never did in the first place. I mean, people have even tried to cancel me multiple times over just being in a relationship with you.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe the number of spurgs that have come into her DMs complaining about things I said, even though my DMs are open to the public. Like, if you have a problem with me, come speak to me. Don't speak to my fiance. It's like the weirdest thing ever. And it's also like, for people who think they're so progressive and inclusive, they sure do like to act like I speak on behalf of my woman. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty ironic that they do that. But moving into this whole the finer points of this discussion, number one, don't overreact to a situation. Ask yourself, am I really being canceled right now? This is not that, are you being canceled or are you just being criticized? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, is it just like one 10-follower Andy on Twitter making a mean post about you, and now you're going to quote retweet them and amplify their message to a greater audience? Because in many cases, you know, when small accounts are trying to cancel you or attack you, the best thing, really the only thing you should do, is just ignore them. Because they are looking for you to respond, they want the attention, and when you give them the attention by interacting, you're also inviting your followers and some of the people you associate with to see those posts that are negative about you, and it's going to amplify them, because people will believe whatever they want. And maybe they'll actually believe something that they would have never seen in the first place, but because you responded, now they're seeing it. And there's a very kind of fine line here where it's okay to ignore, but there comes a point where you must respond. It becomes, you're put in a corner and you have to do something about a situation getting out of control.
Now, a lot of times this happens with misinformation or even fake posts. There is a time where you should ignore it. If it's just one or two people, you should just ignore it, report it if necessary. But if they start getting a lot of attention and it starts to hurt your reputation, that's where you may need to take some sort of public response. Like, for example, this is something personal that happened to me, but there were a lot of people who made a lot of fake screenshots of things that I did not say, and they tried to cancel me based on these. So they would post them, and when it was one person here or there, like, I would just block them, usually even mute, because people will like to parade the block button around, like, oh, she blocked me, I owned her. It's like, no, I just don't want to see you. I don't want to see you ever. But yeah, whenever it starts to get more people doing it and more people are seeing it, you might need to make some kind of public response. So whenever people were posting these fake screenshots about me and other VTubers started reposting it because they just wanted some clout and attention, I had to say, no, actually, these are fake and I'm being harassed. And then I had a bunch of YouTubers in my DMs trying to apologize to me and say they're very sorry for telling people that I did these things that I never did.
A situation that could have been avoided if they looked at the post and saw that it was the sloppiest Photoshop job in history. But, critical thinking skills are an issue with a lot of people on Twitter, but nonetheless.
But it's true. You don't want to quote retweet just a random tweet about you and get a lot more attention to it if not a lot of people have seen it in the first place. It might be really tempting to want to just quote retweet them and be like, you're a loser, or ratio. But I promise it's probably not going to make you look good, and you're just going to give them the attention they want. So just try your best to ignore it. Mute people. I use the mute button all day long.
Yeah, and I think that's a good transition to the next point. Don't reply to people on Twitter over and over. I alluded to this earlier, but basically, don't argue on Twitter. You will never gain anything out of it. Nobody changes their opinion. How many times have you seen someone be proven completely wrong and still just keep doubling down? You're not going to change people's minds in most cases. It doesn't mean you can't defend yourself every once in a while. Believe me, I understand. I have to have an enormous amount of restraint.
I have to reel him back
every day to not respond to people who are just the dumbest, attention-seeking losers on the planet. But getting into a one-on-one argument with them is just a terrible idea. They're waiting for it. They want it. And at the end of the day, it will also make you just look like you're obsessed with arguing with people. It makes you look defensive, even though in most cases, like I said, you're just defending yourself. And honestly, it can get to a point it just annoys your viewers. If all your timeline is every day is just you arguing with people or being upset and angry all the time, it's going to weigh on people. And, that's coming from a guy who, basically made a career out of making fun of people on Twitter. But it's a different approach when I'm sitting, from a distance and just saying, hey, look at these stupid people versus actually engaging in conversations with them where clearly they either are going to just be happy they got attention and or they're just going to argue all day to no point, right? So just stay away from arguments on Twitter. It's just at least for your mental health, right?
Yeah, I mean, these people, they don't have jobs, I don't think. They just argue all day long on Twitter. But honestly, at the end of the day, in my opinion, you should just make your content and go. And that's really the best way to handle any kind of drama or cancellation or anything. Just keep making your content and go. And that's just the best way to handle it, in my opinion.
And also, if you're seeing someone else involved in drama or getting canceled, be very careful before you jump in, even if that's support. Understand the situation fully and ask yourself, is it worth throwing myself into their situation and going down with the ship sometimes over something you didn't need to get involved in? If you really want to reach out, ask questions, or support someone, do it in DMs. I know those aren't private either. They might get leaked. But at least don't put yourself in harm's way. It's like seeing two people, fighting on the street, two, randoms, and then you stick yourself in the middle and try to break them up, and next thing you know, you're getting hit with a punch. Just be careful and choose your battles wisely. Choose your battles and make sure it's worth your time. And I'm going to move on to the next little topic here. This one's a little convoluted. I try my best to explain this. She doesn't really understand it. Maybe you guys don't understand it either.
I do understand it. I just wasn't sure if I agreed. But the thing is, we don't have to agree about everything.
Right. I don't speak for her.
Because people seem to think that we have to like agree on every single thing. Like, I hate to break it to you, but people who are in relationships disagree on things sometimes. And that's okay. That's normal and healthy.
Yeah, so my thing is there's a big difference to me between apologizing and taking accountability. Now, it doesn't mean it's bad to apologize, and when you do need to apologize for something, that's fair. But we see a lot of content creators constantly apologizing for their behavior, both present and past, and it's just like a never-ending apology campaign, you know? And it gets to the point where it's almost sad to watch.
I do agree with that.
And you can you can have content that you made 5 years ago that you don't agree with anymore. Maybe you changed your opinion. Maybe you think what you did was cringe back then. But you know what? You can say, yeah, that was cringe, but I'm just going to move forward. I'm not going to sit here and just wallow and ask for forgiveness and say sorry a million times. Just stick with what you're doing now and try to prove your growth through your current content and how you present yourself now. I think that's taking accountability versus just apologizing. You respond to criticism by just saying sorry over and over again, but not actually moving forward and proving that you have moved on from whatever past point that you made and you think you don't agree with anymore. So that's my spiel.
I will say I agree with what you just said.
Maybe I just worded it better this time.
I think you worded it way better this time.
There was a lot of word salad the last time I tried to explain this, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. I think showing things in your actions is way more important than words. Anyone can say they're sorry about something, but you know, it's your actions that speak way louder than your words.
Now, this is one of the final topics here where I think she does legitimately disagree with me.
Yeah, I disagree with this one, but, you know,
this
this
is very specific, okay? This doesn't apply to a lot of people, but...
He wants you to mock it so he can make a video about you.
This is true, okay? This is all part of my scheme. It's a greater scheme, but the concept of mocking drama and mocking situations where people are trying to cancel you, I think it can be appropriate. You have to be the right person for it. Typically, you have to already have a fan base, right? You got to have a core that already just kind of is going to support you and understands what's happening to you is probably stupid. And you just double down and mock it. We've seen it with some recent content creators, you know, getting canceled and they made fun of it. Or like, oh, look, I'm getting canceled. Well, anyways, or making fun of some of the people or threads making fun of them. I think it works for some people if you have a really thick skin. Some people like to act like they're mocking the situation, but inside they're crying and they're upset. And that goes very badly.
So I can't do that.
Like, you know, I have done that a few times. People have tried to like really try to cancel me. And if I feel like the reasons for me getting canceled are stupid and that my fan base will think it's stupid too, I think mocking it can be appropriate in those situations and just have fun with it. Because what else are you going to do? Like, you know, you're just going to keep ignoring the situation, but that's the thing. I mean, there is also the option of just ignoring everything. We kind of
ignore it and just make your content and go.
Yes, there's kind of two different types of ignoring we did. Earlier in the video, we talked about ignoring it in the situation because it's small and doesn't deserve attention. But you can also ignore things that are big. It works. Like some people can be getting canceled by thousands and thousands of people. I know certain artists, I don't want to name anyone by name, but there's one very large artist I see on Twitter. He gets canceled every week for his drawings. Every single week. Thousands of people going ballistic. And you know what he does? He just makes the next art project. Doesn't say a single word about anything and has had a career for years doing this. And that works for some people, but it is a legitimate option. Just ignore things and keep making content. If people are upset...
And that might also be better for your mental health as well. Like, yeah, you might be the kind of person that mocks it and it's funny for you. But like for me, I just want to keep going. I don't want to think about that stuff. I just want to make my content and be happy and not think about these people at all. And
that's just, you know, the difference also, personal the type preference. Of content we make too. Yep. You know, I make a lot of drama content. So if I'm going to get an extra little bit of drama, and I'm going to use it to my advantage to make more content. But that's me. It's a unique circumstance, okay?
Yes.
But, you know, you just don't want to constantly... Like, mocking has its limits, too, okay? If you're constantly mocking and poking the tiger, that might make you look like a drama queen as well.
Yeah, and then, you know, you're probably going to just end up getting what
More
you're asking
canceled.
for. Like, if
You'll get
you keep
legitimately
keep
canceled.
poking it, like, you're kind of asking to just people to keep dragging it on. But at the end of the day, I think the most important thing you can be is genuine and just be yourself, be authentic. You're gonna find people who agree with you. Again, there will be people who don't agree with you, but also, like, what happened to agree to disagree?
That is
You know?
not a thing.
But just be genuine, be yourself, stand true in your beliefs, and own it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Make content you enjoy. Don't try to impress other people.
Make content
that you and your audience will enjoy, and don't spend all of your time trying to impress other content creators or morally impress people, and just don't be a hypocrite.
and get off Twitter. It hurts your
pretty
mental
much. I mean, I would
health.
love to. It's just too much juicy content for me. But, you know, at the end of the day, don't be a hypocrite. If you're going to make stances, stand behind them. Because I've covered a million different people doing a million different bad things, but nothing makes anyone look worse than being a hypocrite. So
True.
even if you're saying something that might make people angry, stand by it. Because if you end up, you know, backing off of your opinion, now you just pissed off everyone. You know, no one's going to respect you just having a weak spine and trying to shy away from confrontation and people trying to cancel you. You got to bear with it, weather the storm, take our tips. Maybe they'll help you. But yeah, I think at this point we've kind of said it all. We've been talking for quite some time, and as always, it is a pleasure to have my fiance Straub here. It's great to talk with her. Feel free to check out her YouTube channel. It is in the description, as well as her Twitch channel.
Yeah, if you need a break from the drama, you can come and chill out. Nice and cozy vibes.
Very cozy. That's the name of the game for her. So I appreciate you guys listening to this video, and get your shakers while you still can. They're until June 6th. For now, that is the cutoff date, so take advantage while you still can and get a ice shaker featuring both of us.
It's so cute.
It's very cute.
I love it.
But please let me know all your thoughts about today's video in the comments section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Perfect.